oh, you got the clapper today, so you have the clap. I was gonna have the clap again, but you had it.
I'm surprised that nobody commented about.
I'm surprised my wife didn't say anything about the clap.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I hope. Look. We have spared no expense. No expense. Look at our Christmas decoration. We have gone full. We don't have equipment for our video, but we have a Christmas tree.
Very nice Christmas tree.
Very nice Christmas tree.
Yeah.
The business that has this Christmas tree, I appreciate the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Appreciate that business.
Appreciate them letting us do this too.
In their business.
Yeah. Can't tell them whose business this is because this is a controversial show.
It is. We're very controversial. Well, see, yeah, we all have the clap. But the reality is, those people that have this business don't know we're doing this. We sneak in at night, and it worked out pretty good.
It's daytime. You can see the window.
I can. Oh yes. We come in at night. I have to work on our props.
That's okay.
The other night. I don't even know what night it was, but it was the other night.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the news.
Okay.
Actually, I was watching Channel 9 News.
Channel 9.
Not that I watch them local.
Okay.
Not that I watch them all the time. It's just that I happened for that day, for some reason it was there, and I stayed on the channel.
Yeah.
And they were reporting about the vaccine.
Oh.
The vaccine for the virus, the coronavirus, COVID-19.
Yeah. Kung flu.
And I've been thinking about COVID. Well, you can't say it because we're American.
That's right. I've got a shirt that says it.
Kung flu?
Yeah.
Did your friend?
Shirtworksbr.com.
I want him to start paying us some advertising.
I know.
Matter of fact, what's his name?
He hasn't gotten on board yet.
You don't want to tell me his name, but he should make him watch this video and let him know this is like the third or fourth time that you have mentioned his website.
Oh, yeah.
What is the website?
Shirtworksbr.com. Kung flu.
Kung flu. Now, when you go to that website, can you order shirts individually? Just one shirt?
Yeah. You can order them. Yeah.
This really is not a sponsor. We need to get him to be.
Yeah, he's just talented, and he did some of those shirts for fun, and it was really funny. But anyway, sorry.
Where was I?
You were talking about
Channel 9 News. So anyway, during the news program itself, they had they started talking about the vaccine.
Yeah.
And the rollout of the vaccine.
Yeah.
And how physicians and people that work in healthcare,
first responders,
and
old people
homes. I don't want to be in one of those.
No, you don't have to go.
Not yet.
Somebody sends you there.
I'm worried Sandra and Holly will send me there.
I think you got to have 3 people to sign off to be to commit somebody.
Well, good.
Is that right?
I've got 2 already, so I got to make sure there's not a
Does
third
it have to be a family
person.
member?
Yeah. Does it have to be if it has to be a family member? I could be really in trouble.
Or if not, there might have been some bridge you burned, and somebody's just waiting for them to call them. We need one more signature to commit.
I may not be here next week.
We'll do a Zoom show. Kip will be live from Rest Haven.
Well, Rest Haven is a cemetery. If I'm live there, then I want money because it's a miracle.
Yeah. Well, you can't have it because you'll be gone, but I'll take it. Virus.
Channel. I want you to come to my casket.
What do you think about that? And then there's just crickets.
And it's pretty much just crickets. But you can have a photograph of me in the coffin and say, doesn't he look? He looks like he's just sleeping.
Yeah.
I've always heard people say that. Oh, look, he looks as if they're just sleeping. But anyway, the vaccine and the rollout, they were talking about the fact that after all the other folks that are getting the shots first,
All the important people.
all the important people who will live after that then you can, the rollout is going to take place. And they had this website that you could go to. It's on Channel 9's WAFB.com. I'm not advertising, they're not a sponsor either, but that was where the site was. And they had this site that you could answer some questions, and then it would determine where you would probably be in the vaccine lineup.
So are they just doing that for information gathering?
It was information for our part. It was nothing that is
going to be taken and stored and sold.
Right, and it's not something that, okay, if you do this, this means exactly where you are.
Oh, yeah.
It just kind of gives you a where you think.
See, the skeptic in me says, anytime somebody says, hey, go to this website, enter your maybe personal information, then we'll take good care of this personal information. Because in the information age, that's what one of the good things, or one of the horrible things about that show, what was it called? The Social Dilemma. Did you watch that yet?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
You
have a number of things you asked me to watch.
I know.
Rage Against the Machine.
That's a quick one.
Yeah, and I did it quick. I did it very quick.
Still.
But Social Dilemma, I haven't had time to watch.
So what? They're one of the only other industries that calls their customers users. Pharmaceutical sales.
We're considered users?
Is the other user, or drugs. So users, yeah. If you're using information, which we are, if you watched it, it would just be. Anyway, so the fact that the news has this website, they want you to go.
Well, the good thing is,
I'm sorry.
No. From a personal standpoint, I was okay. I felt comfortable because I used your name, and
exactly.
And it was
just like voting.
It's like I say, vote as often as you can, which apparently they did in other democratic states. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, there were only 3 questions that I can remember. One was your age. The other one, do you have any health?
Do you have any comorbidities? How do you say that word?
Well, you just did it.
Okay, that's right.
And there's a pull down window that
want you to list your comorbidities?
No, they already have it listed. It's either heart disease or lung.
But you have to check what you have?
You have to check what it is. And then I forgot what the third question was.
It's just weird.
And then you hit enter, and it goes through this little process of formulating it, where you stand in the line to get
Does it have like
the vaccine.
Like a Jolly Rogers?
Well, it should, because even at my advanced age, it had me down in Louisiana. It's just for all Louisiana. I'd be somewhere in the close to dying before I received it. It's way down in the
What do you mean?
At the end.
Like,
well, my priority in receiving the vaccine, apparently, because even though I am in advanced age, I'm in great health.
Yeah,
supposedly in their minds, and because I'm in great health, I can.
You're not.
I can be delayed in receiving my vaccine. So I'm going to rage against the machine.
Are you?
I want my vaccine.
Yeah, and I mean,
I want to live.
Is this a picture in the window of government-run healthcare, to where it depends on your comorbidities and your age, depending on the care that you're going to get?
I haven't thought of it like that, but you're absolutely right. The government is deciding who lives and who doesn't.
Who gets the vaccine first?
And apparently,
maybe it's local. Maybe it's the governor that decides.
No, I don't. No.
Or is this a federal thing?
I think it's a federal.
I mean,
thing.
I know it comes out to it was a big conglomerate between all of the drug companies that participated in the $2 billion buy-in that they get for producing this warp speed thing. And then once they get it, they're working with the National Guard to distribute it to the states. And then I thought the states were the ones that are going to figure out how you're going to, what Walgreens is going to carry it. Yeah, because I thought, well, the way they make it sound is it's just going to be as easy as buying a box of Band-Aids at Walgreens. You just walk in and get it. But on the other side, there was someone at one of the hospitals in town, and they were saying how it's going to be healthcare workers are going to be first.
And I can understand that. I want them covered because in case I get something, I want them to be able to take care of me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the crazy thing about COVID that is so unsettling, if you listen to the news, and that's national and even local news, they make it sound as if you catch this puppy, you're going to die.
Yeah.
But there are a lot. That's not the case.
That's not true.
That's not true.
It's not even half the case.
So I don't appreciate the fact that it seems like the media really wants to scare people
Completely.
And I don't know if they use that as a control mechanism.
Yeah.
Probably do.
Fear and anxiety are intense, and they will cripple someone who's got a drop of it. If you have someone from the outside of your brain that you possibly trust a little bit, that's going to pour some, yeah, I mean, people that go to church every Sunday, or that used to go to church every Sunday, because now you can't. Although you can.
Well, there's limitations as to how many folks are let in the sanctuary.
But if you have a protest, they didn't limit the amount of people in that Foot Locker, when they were raiding it. But anyway, that's not.
Well, that was different. That was
I know.
What do they call it?
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest.
Well, and so, but it's not true. And there's people that will tell you that there was somebody that was going to get married, and I'm giving like a hypothetical, anecdotal story, but somebody was going to get married. They wanted the family to be there. There's a lot of family that was scared to go there. And then there ended up being a couple of uncles and distant relatives that showed up, and some of those people might have. Well, so maybe if you have 15 people, and you have somebody that's got Corona or COVID-19, however you want to call it, and then they are at the party, there's no way of knowing that they're going to pass that on to somebody else that's at the party. They could have got it at the gas station. They're on their way to the party. They could get it anywhere. I mean, unless you live in a bubble, you're gonna be exposed to something and to somebody. But you're also gonna be exposed to a lot of drivers on the way to the party that you might have a chance of getting into an accident and dying that way. So,
do you worry about having to shut down your business again?
Yeah, because I don't believe in the idea of some businesses are more important or essential than others.
Yeah, I've wondered about that too.
I think that I've heard somebody describe it as if I want to put a parachute on and jump out of a plane, I've got the right to do that.
Yeah.
If I want to open my business, I've got the right to do that.
It should be.
If somebody wants to come to my business, they've got the right to do that.
They should.
They've got the right to not do that.
That's true.
Fear and anxiety can keep somebody from jumping out of a plane. It keeps me from jumping out of a plane. I think I would like to do it, but fear and anxiety keep me from putting a parachute on. So
I would do it.
Would you?
I would do it.
If you did it, I would do it.
Well, we might have to do a show of us jumping out of an airplane. But could we do it when it's not so cold?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really want to.
Do they do that around here?
Yeah. I've heard you can, I'm sure you can find somebody's
I would do it.
out of.
I would do it.
Would you?
But I don't want to do it just at some like 2,000 or 3,000 feet. I want to go up to like 12, 15,000 feet.
I can't even talk about it.
And because I think that would be cool, because I'd want to fall for a period of time.
Yeah, like the guy that fell out of the space. Remember? Did you see that with the Red Bull? Like he went up.
Oh yeah,
he did the free fall.
I wouldn't mind going up to.
And you could tell that the Earth was not flat.
No, that's true.
Which is surprising to me.
It's
like, for the longest time.
You know, so you're a flat earther? You can go on YouTube.
Hey, but there's tinfoil under here. That's why I don't take it off.
Tinfoil. I years ago, it was a few years ago. You could go on YouTube and there are videos from folks who are legitimate. They truly believe that it's a flat Earth.
Yeah.
And
Hey, do you want to know something weird? You can probably say that on Twitter and not get censored.
that's probably one of the few things you could say on Twitter.
Oh no! You can
tweet
lie,
that.
You can lie anything, but unless it's
but if it's
factual,
if it's
and
factual and conservative Republican, that's not allowed.
Fact check.
Fact check and out.
We should have fact checkers.
It's not even fact. We've had fact checks on I forgot the third or fourth episode.
Did we?
We did, the one that dealt with the election.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
got fact checked.
And
because we don't know the results, although we do know that the Democrats stole it.
I wonder, why is it that in every election, it's the Democrat-controlled areas that have the voter problems? I don't understand that. And the great thing that I've noticed is that even now that we're a month past the election, still not one city has burned down because of Republican protest. It's just been a normal conversation and letting people know the facts. And the facts to me are what they showed in Georgia and what they showed in Pennsylvania and Michigan in regards to voter suppression and voter hidden counts, dead people voting. Some dead people voted twice. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people who weren't dead, they did vote twice. And so all that's going out. It'll be interesting, I believe, over the next couple of weeks. The media is pushing the fact that they call Joe Biden the president-elect. And I've noticed over the last 2 or 3 days that the media really has been pushing the fact that the election's over, Trump lost, and all these other these stories of fabrications are not true, and so we need to go away. And I can remember 4 years ago, those people, the Democrats, were in an uproar over the fact that Trump won. Mm-hmm. And they didn't go away happily right away. As a matter of fact, for 4 years, they impeached the man. They did everything they could for 4 years to try and make life miserable for the president and for the other half of the population.
Yeah.
Maybe we come to the point in our history because we've had the longest run of a written constitution in the history of man. 230 some whatever years that our constitution's been that we've run with it. Maybe it's time, since the nation is so divided, almost equally, 50-50, why don't we divide and let, they can have New York and New England and California and Oregon and Washington, and we keep the center part of the country where there's the food, the natural resources, the warm temperatures, navigable waters, and New Orleans, growing.
Now there's two problems.
Yeah.
So you're landlocked.
No. We have New Orleans. We have Louisiana, Mobile.
You just got the Gulf.
You got Florida. You got South Carolina, North Carolina.
Because you'd have to have some coastline.
Yeah, we got a lot of coastline. Got a lot of coastline. But I want the food and the natural resources, which we have.
Maybe they can have
let them have the east and the west, those little sections, just like 100 years ago, or well, actually, 50 years ago, they used to have East and West Pakistan. Remember that?
No.
Yeah, but before there was Bangladesh. Before there was Bangladesh, here's India in the middle.
Right.
There was East Pakistan and West Pakistan because they were predominantly Muslim territories.
Yeah.
And when India, which Pakistan was part of India at the time, gained its freedom from Great Britain in the 40s, after World War II, the Muslims wanted their own country. Mm-hmm. And so you have India, and you had West Pakistan and East Pakistan. So now we could have the Western Soviet Socialist Republic of the United States over in California.
How in the world?
In the Eastern Social
How in
Soviet
the world
Socialist.
would you be able? I mean, I guess anything's possible, but the problem is, when societies clash, it's usually not pretty.
Well, I'm thinking if we could talk this out and say, okay, you have that section and they have that section.
Right.
And it's 50-50 in population. You go your way, we go our way. Everybody would be happy.
Yeah, it's like a good breakup.
It'd be a good breakup.
There's
and
not that many good
I'd be glad to
breakups.
lead it. I don't want to, I'd be glad to lead the breakup. I could be a life coach for the breakup. And
you're talking about dividing houses. Home wrecker is a nice term.
I
For your life
haven't
coach.
thought this completely. I haven't thought this through completely yet.
It doesn't sound like,
But
it seems like that's a good,
But
quick,
there's-
easy fix. Like, hey, you go over there.
you have to
go-
brainstorm.
I know.
You have to find
I
out
like
what
it.
your options
I kinda
are.
like it, but I just see.
You kind of like it, but you don't.
Well, I see a lot of conflicts, and I like to avoid conflict. I want to talk it out.
Some things you just can't talk out. But this is a point where
Man.
they
Yeah.
like Chuck Schumer said a few weeks ago, they'll take the Senate and we change America.
Oh yeah, where is
Well,
that?
okay.
Did they vote on that yet?
No, the Georgia
Is that in January?
Senate is they vote on January 5th. I watched a tad bit of the debate last night.
Oh yeah.
Between the Senator Loeffler, who is the incumbent there now,
Okay.
and this pastor. I forgot his name. He's a pastor, but he is ultra lib, and and Senator Loeffler. I can't say that she was actually very strong herself, but at least she believes in our country and believes in conservative aspects of life, and you have to go. The people of Georgia just have to recognize that they really control the destiny of our country. If we allow two senators that are ultra lib go into the Senate with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden, things could get really different. Taxing businesses, and I love the way they say if you make less than $400,000 a year, you won't pay taxes. And that's just false, because there's no business, there's nobody that earns more than $400,000 a year that is going to, if they're in business, have increased expenses and not pass that on to their customers. Because the customers will have to support, he wants to stay in business, so he passes
they're
it
going to
on.
keep the tax code really complicated too, so where you can write off so many things. So people that are smart enough, or that hire people that are smart enough, because I'm not smart enough to do it either. But I know that whenever let's say your business makes $450,000, but your expenses are $350,000, you've made $100,000. But does that, and I think it does, send you into that tax bracket of over
$400,000.
Your income was over $400,000. So unless you have enough deductions that you can claim, whether sometimes it's kids, sometimes it's, I don't know. That makes my head hurt starting to think about that kind of stuff. I always like to make sure I pay enough. I don't ever want to get a surprise at the end of the year saying, "Hey, yo, $10,000." Like, I don't have it.
I got to tell you, this is a great story. It falls in line with your tax theory. My father, he did the taxes for every year, and it was always when got time for him to prepare the taxes. He cleared everything out on the kitchen table, and he spent a night working on the taxes for the family, what the Schufer family was going to pay for that particular year. Well, Dad had retired, and he was at home, Mom, and it was time to fix the taxes. And so he apparently sat up.
You mean fix the taxes?
Well, right, yeah.
Okay.
Fix them legitimately.
Okay.
And he was going to prepare the taxes. And so he went about his work process. And the next day he calls me up. He says, Kip. I said, yeah, Dad. He said, I prepared the taxes last night for Mom and me, and we owe $10,000. I said, Dad, are you sure? I said, you're retired. I just don't see you having to pay $10,000. Nope, I figured it all out. And these are the, I said, okay, Dad, if that's the way it is. So he sent them a check for $10,000 with all the paperwork that goes with taxes. And he was happy. He got his taxes paid and all that.
Yeah.
Of course, I still argued with him that he didn't need to pay taxes, but I wasn't going to look at his paperwork.
Right.
I thought he's
done it before. He could do it.
He could do it. He's done it.
Yeah.
Well, later that year, Dad receives a check for about $9,703, and he calls me up and he says, "Hey, I got this refund for $9,703, whatever it was." And I said, "Dad, you have figured out the system." I said, "Forget having to fill out all that paperwork and waste all that time. Just determine an amount that you want to pay them, send it in, let them do all the paperwork, and they send you a refund." So from that point on, we always called Dad H&R Blockhead. H&R Blockhead.
That's funny. That's a good idea, though. That's true.
Just send them a bunch of money, and they'll return whatever they don't need.
I saw a funny video this guy was making, and he was saying that it was the first time he paid taxes, and the tax person was like, you have to figure that out. And he was like, okay, well, what if I'm off by a little bit? Can I pay that? Can I not pay it? And she's like, well, no, you have to. We know exactly how much you owe. He was like, well, why don't you just tell me how much I owe?
Well, yeah.
So I can just pay it.
Why are you making me go through these gyrations?
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's really sad. Our tax system is so complicated.
It really is.
And it doesn't need to be.
It seems like is it flat tax?
Where everybody pays the same.
Everybody pays 10%.
All right.
I don't even know where I just pulled 10% out of my hat.
Well, no, that would be good. But I don't think if we did have a flat tax in the country, it would be fair, because the person that makes a bazillion dollars, like Bill Gates, he'll pay 10% of whatever that is, and that would be a substantial amount. Whereas an individual who, say, is retired, and their Social Security is their only source of income, and so they make, let's say, $15,000 a year.
Yeah.
So they pay $1,500 in tax. It's
So wait, let me get this straight. You pay into Social Security all your life, and then you get to the point where you begin to draw that money that you paid in, and then they tax it again because that's your income that you paid in.
I don't know. I let my father do my taxes.
Okay.
Last year I paid him $10,000.
You got a refund.
I got a refund for $9,703. It was great.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It seems like
I hate taxes.
It seems like there's what do you call them when they've got the 3 cups? Is that the shell game?
The shell game.
Yeah, seems like a shell game going on.
Well,
I don't know if I'm cynical or.
I think I've said it before, and it's our nation. The people that were so enraged with the monarchy and being ruled by the Parliament in London with no representation were upset specifically, or if you're on the West Coast, specifically, that they had imposed taxes on paper. So everything that was paper had taxes. I forget what, and it amounted to the total tax amounted to basically 2 weeks of pay during that time period. And here we are in 2020, and people work for 6 months to pay their obligations in taxes: federal tax, state tax, sales tax, gas tax, all of these taxes. And so you work for 6 months to pay your obligation. And 230 years ago, we had people that rebelled against the greatest power at its time, because they were being taxed basically 2 weeks of their annual pay.
Yeah.
We should recognize that there's a stark difference, and it's not right.
Well, people have to be paying. People have to be in pain for them to react, and you see that all through history. But
That's true.
I don't think that there's a large portion of the population that will just you raise taxes, you change things around, they're just gonna take it. It's gonna write in the check.
That's where the New York and the West Coast let them have their own country, and we have East and West, the Soviet Socialist Republic of the United States there, and we have the United States of America in the middle. Have our own country, Eastern, but
You call it something different. It's U.S. United Socialist.
That's United Socialist of America, and that can be East and West Coast. That's all right.
They might just be changing U.S. to that instead of the United States.
That's
I'm
to
sorry.
ponder.
I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact, I'm worn out.
Deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts.
What was that? Oh, Saturday Night Live.
Yes, Saturday Night
Is
Live.
that Jack
Deep
Candy?
thoughts by Jack Candy. Well, I guess we probably ought to let the people go.
Yeah.
I hope they enjoyed our Christmas tree.
Oh, Christmas tree. Sorry. Yeah.
We have entertainment.
I know it's nice to look at. It's really pretty.
It is
I like
pretty.
I like the colors. I like Christmas. Christmas is my favorite time of year.
Christmas is my favorite holiday, and
Yeah.
of course, I love the reason for the season. I love the reason for the season, the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Man. So hopefully people will stop listening and go to church. That's what
Or at least listen.
That's what I recommend.
At least listen to church. Don't lose connection.
Start listening to Rage Against the Machine and go to church.
Yep. Well, what I heard on Rage Against the Machine should make you go to church.
Ah, yeah. It definitely
That or
make you thinking.
or a gun to the head. I don't know.
No. Oh, no.
What?
No, go to
I don't know.
church.
Rage Against the Machine.
Church is better.
Well, yeah, church is a lot better.
Yeah. That's my pet peeve. I think next week I'll get on my soapbox.
Ooh, you have a soapbox you want to talk about?
Yeah. It's not real tall. But yeah, I'll talk about it next week.
Oh, I can't wait to. Is it good?
It's just I want to talk about the hypocrisy of the virus and the handling of the virus.
Ooh, okay, that's going to be good.
We're
going to invite Dr. What's his name? Fauci. Dr. Fauci. We'll get Dr. Fauci to come on board, and
I don't know if he's going to come.
Well, we'll make phone calls.
Yeah.
We'll see if he'll talk to us.
We'll send a DM. Is that what it's called? Direct message. Yeah. He's not going to answer.
You are so technical, Lisa.
Yeah, well, because I'd like to get differing views from people, because I don't know. I'm gonna save it.
I think that's great.
I'm gonna write some notes.
Oh, this is going to be next week. Is going to be hot.
I'm gonna borrow your spectacles.
You're going to borrow my spectacles. It's going to be a hot program.
Yeah.
We'll be in front of our Christmas tree.
Hopefully, we have some presents.
We might even have presents for. Well, yeah. Maybe our T-shirt guy will give us a present.
We should have a grand Christmas giveaway. Shirtworks
for some people out there.
Yeah.
Well, you know, our budget's kind of thin. Our grand might not.
No. Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I know. Yeah. It's just a little candy bar.
100,000.
100 grand.
That'd be great.
All right.
Sure glad you listened. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye, folks.